Home is where connections are made, memories are formed, and ideas are born. And no one knows home better than NFM. Thanks for tuning in to I Am Home, the podcast that goes deeper than trends and dives into what it means to make your house a home.
And read just question one.
Hi there, and welcome to another episode of I Am Home. I'm Tyler Weiskup from NFM headquarters, and I'm joined today by the bright shine of podcast and light that is Becca Sutton.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Becca. And you know her, you love her. It's Hilary Waltemath, our visual display general manager.
Hey.
Hi, Hilary. And all this month, we've been talking about investments in your home. And today is no different. We're talking to a super pro guest all about outdoor entertainment. But before we get to that, let me tell you why we're even doing this podcast. And that's because NFM is more than just your everything home store. We're in the business of improving lifestyles because your home life should be your best life. You can learn more at nfm.com. So let me introduce our expert today. Thrilled he's here, Mr. Will Duncan.
Hello.
Hi. Will, you are one of our super incredibly talented electronics installation pros, and you've been with NFM for a number of years.
20 years.
20 years.
I know.
Plus club.
I know.
That's insane.
It's crazy. Since
So
I was
you were
18.
18. Wow. Okay. Well, I was going to say, because you clearly
I
look
know.
like you're 22. So
I'm
I
blessed.
figured you were born here.
Yes.
And Will, you are a next level leadership graduate. You're one of our development programs here at NFM. And you've personally got to work on like a lot of, high end, super important projects, including Becca's house.
Yes.
Yeah. And that leads me to my first question, which we were talking a little bit before, Mike. So it's not a complete surprise, but was she one of those nightmare customers?
She was not. She really is not. Not at all. I love getting to work with Becca and all of our customers. So I love it. So
yeah. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about, I didn't have this totally scripted, but Becca, a little bit about what it was like working with Will.
Oh, Will's the man. I cannot give enough props to him. I mean, I don't know. If you have an electronic problem or it's, it's something you want to change, I feel like he's definitely got the solution. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like, he's done like TVs, like, I don't know, all of our internet stuff, which I feel like he's helped me put a lockdown on my kids' like video game playing and all sorts of stuff that I greatly appreciate. When I like to our like all of our sound systems. I mean, I feel like it's really, I have Will on speed dial, honestly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you shared a lot about how he's helped you. And anytime we're talking electronics,
Yes.
and it sounds like you've got all the tips, tricks. Like, how did you get interested in this field?
it was really since high school.
Okay.
I've just always been, some people call me the electronics whisperer.
Okay.
And so I can just fix things naturally. So I started working at Nebraska Furniture Mart in the transfer department, and then moved over to display, did that for a couple of years. And then for the past 16, I've been in install. And it was one of those things, the great thing about working here is that there's so many opportunities. I found out that this was a job doing something I loved, and then found out I could make it a career. And so, again, I've just enjoyed the last 15, 16 years have gone so fast.
Yeah.
And again, I get to work with so many different cool people and customers and solve problems and really improve their lifestyles. So again, every day is different, but I just love it. Again, I love doing this stuff.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you must be a pretty patient person. If
Yes.
surprisingly, I am not. I really am not. But when it comes to this stuff, I can just dive in and fix it.
Yeah.
And that's what I love to do. And it's like, if all else fails, pull the power cord and plug it back in, right?
Turn it off,
That's,
turn it off,
it's like, how did you fix this? I just unplugged it.
Yeah.
And so problem solved.
Works itself out. So how are you staying, I'm going a little off script here, but how do you stay current on everything that's out there? It's like an ever changing industry. How do you stay current?
It's because we do it all day, every day.
Yeah.
And so, and NFM has the most current stuff. We get new products in every single day.
Mhm.
And so we're constantly having to learn this stuff because customers are buying it the first day it became available. And then we're figuring it out and installing it. So the job forces us to be current because that's what we're doing every single day.
Sure. I imagine there's customers that are so passionate about this type of stuff, and so they're wanting the latest and greatest all the time, and so we got to be ready for that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It makes total sense in like why our teams are really at the cutting edge of all this stuff, being able to kind of like at the ground floor, when new things come out, have folks like you in homes putting it in, figuring out how all that stuff works, working with those customers, like Hilary said, who are demanding it. It just makes our team like that much above some of the folks that you may want to reach out to beyond NFM.
Yep.
So we previewed this a minute ago, but we're talking home investments. Earlier this month, we talked about the patio setup. And today we're really diving into kind of the major enhancement to that, which is outdoor entertainment. So, Will, I wonder if you can tell us maybe in some general terms, what makes an outdoor entertainment, let's say, system? I don't know if that's the right term, but what makes that worth something to splurge for?
Really, it's again taking the things that we love to do inside and bringing them outside. Again, I know in the Midwest our outside time is limited, but let's take the biggest advantage of that time that we get and get outside.
Yeah.
And so having a TV, right? Being able to watch TV outside is the first thing you think of.
Yep.
And then it's audio. Man, I'd love to be able to listen to music out here.
Yes.
And then, again, there's lighting and there's ways to enhance our enjoyment outside. So again, the grill's fired up. I'm watching a baseball game, got some music on for the kids playing in the yard. It's really, again, just let's get outside and how can we enrich our outside experience to match our inside experience.
I love that. Yeah. We were talking with Laura from the patio side about like really extending that living area. And this is like, you can open up a whole new room of your house. It can be like, we talked about staycations as a way to, folks aren't taking as many vacations.
Right.
And so being able to like take full advantage of that space and invest in it is something that you can continue to do for years to come. So it makes total sense. When do you see customers who are like, when are they typically coming to you looking for stuff like this? Is there like a general trend?
Again, it's kind of all around, year round. To be honest, people start thinking about it first quarter, right?
Yeah.
We want to be prepared for our outdoor season. Again, Midwest, not as big a deal, but they're starting to think about it. But as soon as spring hits, that's really when people are like, I've got to get outside and, I really want a TV.
Yeah.
Or I really want this. That's really, again, what drives it is I'm outside now. I want this. How can we get this? And so that's when they'll, bring us out and have us take a look and, provide ideas of end goal is I want to be able to do this, but can we do it? And what are our options? And again, NFM has so many different options for TVs, for the sound systems. They don't know. Again, the biggest thing is customers don't know and don't take advantage of the people that do know.
Yeah.
And that know all of the options that they have. And, again, how much my budget is this much? What can we do within my budget? And these are my end goals. So again, bringing us in as early as possible and just spitballing, here's what I want to do. I'd love to do this. Can we? And, again, let's go.
Yeah. Do they typically come with an idea of what they're hoping for it to be, or are they coming just fresh and they're like
completely fresh?
Yeah. Interesting.
And they've seen a neighbor that has this or seen a friend that has this and they're trying to match that or one up what their friend has, right?
Yes.
That happens a lot. Again, he had a 65-inch TV. I've got to have something bigger.
Yeah.
And so that happens quite a bit. But can we get a 65? Can I get an 85 on this wall?
Right.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Back to the idea of like home investments. What impact can a well-designed outdoor entertainment area have on the overall value of a property?
It's really huge. Again, having that outdoor space that is an entertainment that's built in that, again, a potential buyer is going to say, look, we need to do nothing out here. This space is done.
Yeah.
And it's, again, added value that's different than the next house they've looked at. It's the same, but it doesn't have a TV out here. It doesn't have speakers. The lighting is a huge deal. Again, the lighting to light up a space makes a huge impact on your property. And so those things are really big and they are investments. But I think they generally pay off so much.
I'll say Will helped us last summer get our pool situation And I feel like we do have a couple outdoor TVs, and he helped us with the sound system. And I mean, we spend so much time out there, and whether I like it or not, those TVs get used a lot.
Yeah.
But it really does make a big difference. I mean, we invested in it, and we spend a lot of time out there in the summer.
Yeah.
And not even, I mean, I feel like as soon as it starts getting kind of nice, I mean,
Oh yeah.
and our TV's on it's on a swivel. So like in the winter, our kids like to go out there and get in the hot tub, and they swivel the TV over and watch TV from the hot tub. But I don't know. So I feel like it definitely, I mean, it's been really, really, really fun to get to use.
Yeah.
And we didn't spend a lot of time in our backyard before. So, I mean, we spend a significant amount of time there.
Yeah. Back to the idea of like making your home life your best life. Like if you enjoy any of those things, like just chilling and like making s'mores and like watching movies and being in the hot tub, if that's something that you can have, and watching TV at the same time. I mean, this is kind of the dream for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
So we split today's topic into 3 sections. You've already kind of previewed outdoor video, audio, and lighting. I feel like there's probably a ton more that we can talk about, but we had to kind of like cut it off somewhere. Let's start with outdoor video and talk to us about maybe some of the things that you're helping a customer determine when they're looking at TVs for their outdoor space.
Usually it comes down to, again, there's using the inside TV outside, which is not ideal, but it is an option, right? Again, it's something that most people do, to be honest. But there's considerations. And so it's important for us to let customers know, here's what you're giving up by doing that, where it's going to go, right? Is it going to be somewhere that's in the sun all the time? Or is this something that's going to be shaded all the time? Those are big differences on the TVs that we would choose. So again, it's really informing of here's your options. And we've got outdoor TVs, that are sub $1,000, which is crazy. Over the last couple of years, they've dropped substantially.
That numbers.
I also feel like they've gotten so much better.
Yes.
Like I feel like we had an outdoor TV at some point, but this whatever one we got last year, I mean, it's like you can see it in the sun. There's not any glare. Like I mean, it is a legit.
Yeah. Like
TV.
I said, technology changes so fast, and every year I've got new products and new experiences I can offer people. So again, even if we did something, it's like let's refresh. What's new that could enhance this even more than we use it way more than we thought we did. So what else can we do?
Level it up. Yeah.
Well, some of the things that you've kind of maybe hinted around at is like if you're using an indoor TV outdoors, like what are the drawbacks of that viewing experience?
Really, the brightness is the first one. Again, because they're just not made to be outside and you can't see them. The other one is there's no warranty. As soon as you put an indoor TV outside, you've shot the warranty. And so it doesn't matter if it's a day, 6 months, it's gone. So those are the really big things. There's usually a compartment in the outdoor TVs that allow you to put an Apple TV in, even though most of them are smart, maybe a cable box, something that you can store in there. They're weather sealed and they're warranted to be outside year round. I will always recommend that even if you get an outdoor TV, you bring it in the winter in Nebraska, right? You're not going to be out there at the end of December and you're not going back out there until April, really, if you're lucky. So bringing it in extends the life of even an outdoor rated TV. And it takes 15, 20 minutes to take it down, put it in the garage, and bring it out. It extends the life. There's just no reason for it to be outside.
Unless you're using to swivel and watch it.
Yeah, exactly. If you are using it, great. But if you're not, again, most
it can help extend the life.
But again, just understanding that putting an indoor TV outside, if it lasts you a couple weeks, great. But there is no, I've seen them last 2 days. I've seen them last a couple years, certainly. But again, there's a difference in the two, and spending the money on an outdoor TV will extend the life, and just again, the brightness.
It makes a huge difference.
You cannot see an indoor TV in the full sun at all.
Well, I mean, just think about your phone oftentimes or like Kindle, like in the bright sun. It's impossible.
It's the same thing. I feel like that's a great metaphor because I don't know how many times I've been like outside like, I'm trying to figure.
For example, an indoor TV is usually about 600 or 700 nits, which is how they measure brightness. An outdoor TV like the Samsung Terrace is 4,000.
Oh,
So it's so much
Significantly more.
brighter.
Yeah.
And it's made to handle the direct sunlight. It has a special filter to protect the panel.
Gotcha.
And again, completely weather sealed, so bugs can't get in there.
Gotcha.
Humidity here obviously is an issue.
Mhm.
Yep.
But bugs get in there, and again, it just can
Ugh.
ruin the TV.
Yeah.
And even again, a minimal investment is now gone.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I hadn't thought about bugs that attracted to the bright light too
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Is there much of a difference? Like I've seen, I've looked into
Mm-hmm.
this very deeply, but like full sun, partial sun, like what, can you talk to us a little bit about like what some of those considerations would be for customers?
yeah, again, a patio that's covered that maybe sees the sun in the morning, that's a partial sun,
Mhm.
right? Again, it gets a little bit, but not a big deal. Full sun, again, if you're out there and there's no cover on it, really it's a full sun.
Yeah.
Full shade, again, and then the middle, or again, the full shade it's always covered. The sun's never going to hit it.
Mhm.
So you're just worried about, again, bugs,
Mhm.
and again, want that little bit of brightness.
Gotcha. And they like adjust the brightness settings, or are they weatherproof differently? Like
No.
what's the difference?
Again, they're usually the same thing. It's just a different panel that's
Oh, okay.
brighter, that can get brighter. And again, that full
Gotcha.
sun one's got a filter on it, because the sun rays can actually
That makes
damage
sense. Right.
the LEDs.
Oh,
And so again,
sure.
that's what the full sun, that's the little bit of a bump from a full sun from a partial.
Right. Perfect. Okay. So can you explain maybe the benefits of an in-home consultation for outdoor video setups versus, trying to figure this
Yeah.
out on your own, or like
Right.
just walking in, or just like what is that? Why would someone do that?
Yeah, it's because we're experts, right? This
Mhm.
is what we do.
Yeah.
And again, we know all the options. So it's great to come with us with your dream and say, boy, I'd love to put a TV out here, but where can I?
Mhm.
Again, do I have a power outlet that's close? And then it's, what do you want to watch on it? Are you 100% streaming,
Mhm.
or do you have cable? And we need to worry about, can we get a cable jack there for your cable box? Or can we store the cable box inside and run a cable to connect it?
Sure.
Those are the considerations with,
Right.
again, here's what time of day do you watch it? I usually watch it in the afternoon. I never watch at night. I never watch in the morning.
Mhm.
Okay, well, this is about the time.
That's
So
a
let's
big
look and see how much
consideration.
sun is here.
Mhm.
Again, but most of it comes around, where do I put it, and how can I put it there?
Right.
And so again, that's what we can look at. Where can we get a wire? Where's there a power outlet that's close? Are you going to need an electrician to move your power outlet so we can put it here? Because this is
Mhm.
where it needs to go. So again, utilizing us and not having to do a bunch of research and, try to figure it out on
Right.
your own. Hanging a TV. I generally say that everybody can hang a TV if you can run a drill. But how many trips to the hardware store do you want to
Right.
make because you don't have the right
Yeah.
bolt, or you don't have the right tool
Uh-huh.
to be able to do it? So again, that's what the experts are for. We
Yeah.
have all of that stuff, and we've done it thousands of times. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
we're supposed to make it look easy.
Right.
That's why
Miscalculate.
you hire
fill
us to do
holes.
it.
If I watch a YouTube video and then I try to replicate it, it like never works the same
Right.
way.
No,
Exactly.
never.
Never
Right.
works the same way. Never.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Okay, let's pivot and talk about outdoor
Mm-hmm.
audio. But same kind of question: what kind of things are you helping homeowners understand when it comes to setting up an outdoor audio system?
Usually it starts with, most people think of outdoor with a Bluetooth speaker,
Yeah.
right? And again, that's a great starting point. And there are huge Bluetooth speakers, and then there's little tiny ones.
Mhm.
They're just not big enough to cover an outdoor space.
Mhm.
And if you get away 30 feet from a Bluetooth speaker, guess what happens? The music's gone.
Yep.
If you get
Yeah,
a phone
that's
call,
true.
the music's gone. If you leave to run to the store, you left with the music, and somebody
Uh-huh.
has to repair
That's
Yeah.
happened.
their phone
That's
to it.
happened many a party
You
that I've
can't-
thrown.
Can't generally pair multiple together, right?
Uh-huh.
So everybody's huddled around one speaker, and nobody can hear at the far part of the yard, and everyone's getting blasted out around it.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of the first one. Is a Bluetooth speaker for passive listening is probably fine. But when you get into, I've got a bigger space, or I want better sound, that's where options, again, Sonos is a great example. I love Sonos and what they do. They have a portable speaker that not only does Bluetooth if you want to take it to the lake or tailgating, so it's a multi-use speaker, but when you're home, it connects to Wi-Fi. And so your phone is not supplying the music, it's the
Okay.
internet. So again, phone call, music keeps playing. Again, it's super portable, move it around. It's water resistant, so you could leave it outside, move
Mhm.
it by the pool, and the kids splash it just fine.
Mhm.
And those Bluetooth speakers generally splash resistant,
Yeah.
but again, they're not the greatest for that.
Right.
Again, all the way up to a big landscape system, right? That has multiple speakers that can be replaced kind of wherever in the landscaping. We try to blend them. They have optional subwoofers. So if you really want to have
Your neighbors are going to love
if
you.
you really love your neighbors, but the sound is just so incredible, and it really takes it up a notch, and it gives you a lot of flexibility. Again, rock speakers and speakers on the house are great, but maybe you can't get wires there. You know, again, maybe it's just not an option, and you know, it's something extra on the house that doesn't always look the best. So being able to put something in the landscaping and aim it back towards your house, so you're getting all the fun instead of the house shooting towards your neighbor. You can spreading the sound out so that everybody can hear it at the same level, and we can create areas that are quieter. So again, for Becca's, we created an area that's a little bit quieter, that doesn't have as many speakers, that are turned down a little bit. So there's a space where the adults can go, and then there's a space where when splashing happens, they can still hear it at the same level, and you're not blasting somebody out because they're right by the speaker.
I mean, that's when the design element comes into it, right? It's less about just like I'm setting things up and I'm like really thinking intentionally about what I'm going to be doing out there. I love that. I also had under here the different types of outdoor audio systems available and how they vary in terms of insulation, sound quality, and durability. You've talked a little bit about Sonos as being like a preferred product, just how that plays well. Like what other kind of options do you tend to see when you're working with customers?
A lot of, rock speakers are very popular. That's a carryover. My thing with rock speakers is it looks like a rock. Right? And so when you put it in mulch, it still looks like a rock, like it doesn't belong. So that's very popular. And again, speakers on the house is another wildly popular thing. But again, it's a big speaker on the house that birds like to build a nest in. And so, that can be something to be concerned about. They'll weather a little bit differently. They're paintable generally, but that's something else you have to kind of consider. Again, if you have a darker color house and you put a white speaker up there, it's going to stick out. Again, then the other limitation there is if there's not speaker wires already there, sometimes getting them there is a challenge that is not worth overcoming. So again, a different option. Then again, the great thing about Sonos is I can use Sonos with those speakers on the house, with those rock speakers, if that's you want. I can still use Sonos even though it's not portable. So again, and then when we get to the landscaping, it's really about how much sound do you want? Or, are you a big audiophile and you really want to come out here? Again, kids splashing in the pool, that's a big thing because you will have to turn it up so loud if it's just a pair of speakers on the house that nobody else can hear it. And so those are really the big three. Again, and most of them are DIY. Really, again, you can.
Oh, awesome!
A Bluetooth speaker is obviously DIY. Sonos is very DIY. Cool. Download an app and it walks you through it. Again, when you get to the landscaping, it's kind of where can we get a wire? Can we get underneath this thing? Where can we put the equipment that's accessible for everybody? Again, and we can still put Sonos on top of it. So Sonos, again, the core thing of being able to listen to music, not Bluetooth. But then it's really where can we put speakers and then how many do you want?
Yeah. Super powerful product.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to our final topic of the day, outdoor lighting. It's really a wide topic. I feel like we can go on a while. We've got like path lights, we've got spotlights, you've got decorative fixtures. What types of lighting are you typically working on with homeowners?
I really like the Philips Hue brand. Again, that's a DIY product for sure. All comes in one box. They make sconces. Really the big ones are, I believe it's the Calla, which is a bollard, and then the Lily, which is a spotlight. And so clever names. And they do full RGB, so full color. Again, and they can be placed in anywhere within about 30 to 50 feet of a receptacle. It plugs in. You can control it from your phone. It automatically does sunrise and sunset for you, so you're never thinking about it. You can take it with you. It's not kind of built into the ground. It doesn't have to be. Again, you can do, my wife, for example, does seasonal things. So 4th of July, she has our Hue outdoor lights doing red, green, and blue. During Halloween, she does an orange and purple. Christmas, she's doing, this, that. Again,
Love that.
It's really cool. You control it from your phone. And again, most people can do it. It's really plug and play.
Yeah.
The next step up from that is that full kind of landscape system with lights of path lights here, and yet it requires a transformer and we have to run wire to all the lights. And that's more of a design. And you
Mhm.
really would want an expert to come and say, here's my yard.
Mhm.
I don't know where these lights should go.
Right.
Please help me.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're here to do. And a really cool new product was just released that can do that typical landscape lighting in red, green, blue. So full RGB.
Awesome.
First one I've heard of that can do it that we
Wow.
offer. And it's a really cool product of being able to do spotlights and uplight the trees, but be able to do it in color.
Yeah.
So they actually call it colorscaping, which I think is a great
fun.
Yeah.
term they've
That-
coined.
Yeah.
And being able to mix and match and say, I've got way more yard than
Mhm.
Phillips Hue is for,
Sure.
but I still want color.
Mhm.
Awesome. We've got a product for you.
Oof.
Like you see so many people doing less like lights around the house and like projecting things on there. Like what another easy way to like be festive without
Yeah.
Yeah.
climbing up onto the roof of your house.
Yeah. And it's a big security thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Again,
Yeah.
having lights around your house is a
Yeah.
huge security thing. Again, we
Mhm.
talk about investments. That's a big investment, investing in the security of your home.
Mhm.
So again, having some kind of outdoor lighting is just a really big deal. And again, all the way from a couple lights to 100
Mhm.
lights,
Mhm.
there's a solution out there.
Are there specific factors that you are helping homeowners consider when planning for outdoor lighting installations?
Again, generally we're just trying to find the best thing for them. Right? Again, that's, again, do you hang out outside around the pool? We need to get some lights around the pool. Do you have pathways that are kind of dark, or, the kids
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
you'd like to be able to see out in the yard?
Mhm.
It really comes down to that. Again, and then it's how do you want to use it, and saying, hey, there's some cool stuff you can do.
Mhm.
And really, again, explaining, again, the example of 4th of July,
Yep.
those type of things.
Mhm.
And then eyes light up and say, okay, this is way more than I thought. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And so again, it's really about hearing how your space is utilized so that I can make it better for you.
Mhm.
Perfect answer. And we always love to hear that, because
Yeah.
I mean, that's at the end of the day, you're trying to figure out a way to extend that living area in your home, and to really make it shine and be reflective of who you are. And I think there's a
Mhm.
lot of creative ways that we've talked about today, whether it's the TVs themselves, the sound systems, or how you want your lighting to work, and
Right.
having a professional help walk you through how all those options work together, because they do it every single day.
Yeah.
It's going to be something that like makes it way easier and achievable
Right.
for you to do.
Like you said, with a YouTube video, that's great to do some YouTube research, right? But
Mhm.
they did it for them.
Mhm.
That was designed, and they did something specific for their use case. How does that help me in my house and what my situation and what I've got going on? So
100%.
that's what we're for, is give you all your options
Mhm.
and let you decide what's best.
Love that.
I also think sometimes you don't even know what's possible, but like
Right.
I feel like I've never called Will with something he can't come up with a solution for.
Yeah,
So
right.
I mean, Superman over here.
Yeah. Well, what a perfect way to wrap up our super guest,
I
Will
appreciate
Duncan.
it.
Thank you for being
Mhm.
here.
No problem.
And of course, I want to thank our co-hosts Hilary and Becca, and our producer Scott. We also have producer Ann on Woodford on the systems today as well. So thank you, Ann, and to thank you, listener, for listening. And remember to like, smash those subscribes and comments, and do all the things wherever you listen. Then hop over to nfm.com, where you can shop 24/7 for everything outdoor entertainment and everything indoors too. And that'll do it for us today. Just remember, at the end of the day, home is what you make it.
Thanks for joining us today for I Am Home with Tyler Weisskopf, Hilary Waltemath, and Becca Sudbeck. No one knows home quite like NFM. So if you'd like more information on home design at NFM, please check out nfm.com and leave us a review on the podcast platform of your choice.